The day bison graced your village was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday.
Welcome to the Rated G for Gamers podcast, episode 349. Before we start the show, we want to thank all of our wonderful fans who have supported us. And if you want to show support for the Rated G Network, you can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/Rated G for Gamers. You can also find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Rated G for Gamers. And finally, please rate and review us on iTunes and Spotify. We appreciate all the love. I'm your host, Dave Bertino, and this is my co-host, Dan, the podcaster formerly known as Classic Robinson.
What's going on, man?
Oh, well, gotta say, it is, I know people say this every year, but I feel like this is a big year for gaming. Got a lot of big releases so far, right? We got a lot of good games that have come out already. A lot of good games on the horizon, all right? Horizon Zero Dawn pun notwithstanding. I'm pretty hyped.
Horizon Forbidden West pun. Horizon.
Horizon Universe pun. Whatever. Yeah.
There you go. All right.
I mean, we've had Atomic Heart. We got the Metroid Prime remaster that has come out. All right. We got Zelda. Zelda's coming up pretty soon. We got Starfield sometime this year. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff coming.
Whoa. We don't know that. We don't know if Starfield's coming in or not.
Do you want to make a bet? You want to make a bet that Starfield's not going to come out this year? Do you want to take that bet?
It's a possibility.
Anything is possible. All right?
I say
anything is possible.
I say it's a 30% chance. Better than a 30% chance that it won't come out.
You want to make a bet?
No.
Okay.
No,
30% is not that confident.
You know what? You know why I don't want to make the bet? Because we're in a digital age where they could just put it out and fix it as they go.
Oh, well, I mean, they always do that. Yeah. It almost never stops the disc pressing or them going gold with it. All right? It's like, it's going to come out on this date. We're going to do it. And we're going to put a day one patch out.
No. If this was 10 years ago, it wasn't going to come out. It's not going to come out. They would have just delayed it.
10 years ago, a little bit different, but they still had the same infrastructure. They still had the online infrastructure. Unless it's like critical 10 out of 10 bug, they're gonna put the game out. Always.
No, Starfield's a big game, right? I think
Starfield is a big game. Yeah.
Starfield's a big game for Bethesda / Microsoft now.
Oh, right? Well, I mean, they don't want it to have a bad showing by any means. Like, the game's got to be good and ready to go, and it's already been delayed once. You're right. Could be delayed again. I don't know.
It's been delayed twice. I think it's been delayed twice, to be honest.
Even if it doesn't come out this year, it's still going to be a good year for gaming. So I'm not, but Starfield is like the game that everyone's been talking about.
I completely disagree. I'm not gonna say
there it is.
It's not a bad game. It's not a bad year for gaming. It's not a great year. Come on, no. It's not nowhere near a great year for gaming. It's a good year. I think it's a decent year.
If there's two things I know in the world. One is that water is wet, and two, there's a high probability Dan is going to take the counterpoint to whatever I need to say.
I mean, is that like Super Mario World is being released this year or anything like that? I mean, no. We got Zelda. That's nice. That's cute. We got PSVR 2 that came out. That's nice. Right?
No, there is no Super Mario World, but the Super Mario Land World attraction at Universal Studios is debuting this year, and the Super Mario Brothers movie. We got a lot of things in the Mario World coming out, so.
True, they're all entertainment properties, not actual video games.
Well, no, but I mean,
the purpose of this is a big year for gaming. Keyword.
All right. Listen, if you're gonna judge every year off of arguably your favorite game of all time, then every year is gonna fail because
Well, there you go.
There's a reason that game is in the number one spot for you, right? There's a reason Super Mario Bros. 3 is very high on my list, is kind of up at the top. If you're going to gauge it against that, every year is going to fail until it doesn't, right? So you're never going to have a good gaming year.
So look, this is how we're going to have a
that bar is unattainable. The bar is unattainable.
This is how we're gonna get a great, like the greatest gaming year of all time.
I didn't say it was the greatest. I'm just saying it's a great.
I know, but I'm gonna give you the greatest.
It's like 8.5, 9 this year so far.
I'm gonna give you the greatest. We're gonna get Super Mario World 3.
Nope.
Where we actually play as Mario with the cape with remixed levels, right? We're gonna get we get Uncharted 5, right? We get Uncharted 5.
They're potentially working on another Uncharted.
Potentially, yeah, but I want Nathan Drake. I want Uncharted 5 with Nathan Drake. That's it. I don't want the remake. And then we get the next Gears game, Gears 6. So boom, there we go.
Okay. Well, maybe next year that'll happen.
Well, we are getting Gears 6. We're getting one out of the 3. So. But I love Uncharted. I want Nathan Drake. I'm excited to see what they're gonna do without Nathan Drake because I don't think he's gonna be in it. And I think Super Mario World is the best game of all time, best Mario game definitely of all time.
Of course, it's up there.
And I love that that they were working on sort of like a traditional part 2, even though we got like Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island where we played Yoshi. Switched it up, but it was a great
game though. It was amazing. And,
I know, but
hardware pushing.
I know, but it was leaked. I don't know how many years ago. I mean, probably a lot of years ago, where we had the actual sequel with Mario in different lands. Did you see it? Right? Like it's all over the internet. You can just Google it.
I did not know about this. It never came out, obviously, right? No, yeah.
It never came out. A lot of the levels aren't finished. Right? Somebody made it like sort of playable, but
oh shoot!
It's good to just look at. It's not like it's not good to actually like play because a lot of things are broken because they fleshed it out. Right?
Yeah. So. It's a early beta. I know what I'm doing after the show. That's crazy. Okay, how did I not know that? Well, all right, Dave. We have an awesome show this week coming up. We're going to talk about Sony being forced to reveal private documents to Microsoft. Right, the internal that epic battle that will never end. Trying to purchase Activision Blizzard, and I'm going to be honest. This isn't the biggest deal in the world. What they have to reveal, and we'll talk about that later. And another Square-Enix company apparently is folding. Right, like that kind of sucks, but does it really? When we actually get into it, we'll talk about that. But before we get into any of that, let's begin the show with Super Mario Brothers, the movie, as you were mentioned. Usually we're used to games and it's really it's a game thing. I can't think of a movie that gets delayed other than like circumstances of the world, right? Like when we had 9/11, when we have 9/11, right? That's Arnold Schwarzenegger movie where he's like fighting terrorists in Colombia. That they delayed that. The optics of putting out a movie around that time, right? When the Columbine shootings happened, right?
I said the world situations, right? That world situations.
I mean, there are production issues too that happen behind the scenes that push out movies. That does happen from time to time, but
yeah, but we rarely hear like a big blockbuster movie is being delayed, right? Like a lot of blockbuster movies due to the zombie apocalypse in 2020, right? Those, especially the Marvel ones, they got delayed or got put to streaming afterwards.
Yep,
which really pissed off a lot of people. The actors involved because they get a part of the sales movie.
Oh yeah. Scarlett Johansson went hard on Disney over that because her contract said one thing but didn't account for the streaming and whatnot, and when she signed all the deals, it's like, yes, movie deal, you make money off the box office or whatever it is, and that didn't have, that was a whole thing. It was a debacle.
But it's mainly in games where it's, we get, it's really prevalent in games where we get like, this has been delayed.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Right. But rarely do we get things that come out early, and Super Mario movie is coming out early, 2 days early, in fact. It was supposed to come out April 7th, Friday, April 7th, but now it's coming out Wednesday, April 5th, so you could see it early.
That's crazy. Now, there's a reason they didn't just move it up 2 days to move it up 2 days. So either they want to get ahead of whatever is coming out that Friday. I don't know if there's any big movies coming out that particular Friday, or they got some promotion thing or whatever else, or I don't know. But there's obviously a reason behind it. I don't know why. I mean, I read some articles about it and this and that, but I didn't see anything that would like point to the why. But yeah, I don't know. Probably not going to see it that Wednesday. I'll probably see it that Friday. So,
well, see, that's where me and you differ, my friend.
You're gonna go see it on a Wednesday.
I probably see it that Wednesday. You know why? Okay. Because people like you are going to wait till Friday, and there's probably going to be more seats available, more tickets sold. So.
I mean, some maybe, yeah, because it's a weekday. But yeah, I feel like that movie is going to do gangbusters. So
it is.
No matter what, you're going to be in a theater with a sea of kids. There's no doubt about it. Unless you're going to the midnight showing, I don't think you get.
No, I disagree. I think you're going to see nothing but old people because this is the Mario movie we've always wanted since.
Yeah, and they're going to be bringing their kids. You think their kids are not going to want to go see Mario on the big screen? Of course, it's going to be like Sonic.
Listen, if I had a kid, I'd be like, listen, all right. I'm gonna go see the movie first. Dad needs to see it first.
It's me time. I need some me time.
It's me time. Okay. Then I'm gonna bring you. We'll see it again. I'll bring you and your friends. Okay. But it's me and Dave. Yeah, Uncle Dave. We gotta
go see this movie. We gotta go see this movie. We gotta do it for We gotta do it for us.
We gotta do it for our childhood. We'll be the kid in the movie theater.
You know what? I understand that. I am 100% behind that, and I would not be mad if that was the way it went down.
It makes sense. So. Sticking with Nintendo, they also recently revealed, this was crazy that this wasn't a bigger deal, right? This should have been in their Nintendo Direct, like last week or 2 weeks ago. I don't understand why it was just sort of a YouTube drop of Metroid Fusion. All right, that's gonna come to the Nintendo Switch Online.
Yep. Amazing game. This came out, I believe, day and date with Metroid Prime for the GameCube, and they had interconnectivity. It was the debut of the Zero Suit, which was awesome. You get special stuff if you hook the two games up together via the GameCube or GBA link cable. Yeah, very good game. And still Metroid, but different, because there's a weird other you that's chasing you throughout the whole entire game, so it's even more of like a horror game. It's really good. So, yeah.
Well, side note.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about Mario Day.
I
think they missed the mark. The Mario Brothers movie should have been released on
Mario Day. That is the thing they should have moved it up for. Yeah. Because even though like it did get delayed a little bit from I think the end of last year or whatever, they could have made the date March 10th, right? What's an extra moving it up a couple weeks? Yeah, 100%. Should have been out March 10th.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like a video game where they got to do, some more tweaks. The movie is practically done, I would assume, like right now. Like no one's doing. Listen. I know I took a couple of film classes, but I don't work in industry. I don't know if they're still, it's like, are they doing voiceovers right now? Is Chris Pratt going in perfecting a certain scene right now, the beginning of March, even though the movie's coming out in 4 or 5 weeks? Right? Like, I don't know how that works.
That's a good question. Because they have to get. I mean, it's all digital now, right? So they're digital prints. Yeah. But they have to get those to the movie theaters. In all the correct nationally, and I guess internationally too. I guess it releases on the same day, so they got to get all this stuff out internationally. So they need at least a couple weeks or a month or whatever. So I'm assuming production is done. I'm assuming they're done, and now they're just in like promotion mode and logistics and shipping mode and getting all that stuff out. I could be wrong. I don't know what the lead up time is to get everything out, but you want to make sure that they have the prints and they're ready to go.
That would have been an awesome hey guys, Mario Day, which is March 10th for people who don't know, because MAR10 looks like Mario.
Yep.
But instead of the movie. We got a Switch bundle, which I don't know about you, it's terrible. You know why terrible? Because you get a Switch bundle that is the OG Switch. It's not a Switch OLED model.
Yeah. Why?
And now that we're in this digital age, they don't actually put a game in the system. You have a choice. You could choose one of 3 Mario games: Mario Odyssey, Mario U Deluxe, or Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
I'm not mad at the digital aspect of it, because that's just how the way things are going, right? It's always a digital code now. I'm mad that it's not the OLED. That's the bigger issue, right? Like you want to get a bundle with the game and then whatever. It's like, all right, cool, but like make it $350 with the free game, right? Just make the game the free thing, and make it Mario themed.
You know why? They still got an abundance of regular Switch systems they need to get rid of.
Yeah,
that's probably why. To be honest,
I think you're right.
Like, hey, look, $300, same price, normal price, but you get a free digital game, right? You pick, and then you get the 2 bright red Joy-Cons on each side, which look cool. But just give me Mario Odyssey if that's the case. Make it a Mario Odyssey bundle,
right?
If you're gonna do that, why even choose? This is Mario Odyssey. You have Mario all over the box, and there you go. I don't miss opportunity.
I think you're right about the stock. I think they want to get rid of some old stock and whatever. I mean, the console's been out since 2017, so it's at least 6 years. I think it's 6 years almost to the day, right? It came out March 3rd, I think, of 2017. So, and we're now.
Well, remember we have 4 Switch models, right? And you have the original OG Switch.
Well, yeah, that's been discontinued.
You have the OG Switch, then you have the
better battery life one.
Battery life Switch,
right?
And then you get
the light switch,
and then
the light switch.
And you're still hanging on to that.
And missed opportunity there too.
Then you get the Switch OLED. So.
All
right, Dave. As we always try to start the show, but epically fail. What have you been playing?
Oh, I've been playing arguably one of the most anticipated and best remasters of all time, and that is Metroid Prime. Love it. It's great. I am reliving the magic of 2002 when I used to work at a electronics boutique. And I got it day one when that game came out. Everybody got it. We were all talking about it. It was amazing. Played that game front to back. And never actually beat it, though. I got to the final boss, and I couldn't beat the queen.
Gotcha.
And I lost that memory card and that save file. So it's gone forever.
And you have the physical edition.
Oh, hell yeah, I got the physical.
Yeah, okay.
I found it. I mentioned it last week. It took a while. Went to like 3 different stores on 3 different occasions and finally found a copy of it. Target had 1 copy left. So
nice.
I know some people have speculated that this is going to be a limited run of the physical and the whatever else. And I mean, I don't think that's true.
Nintendo said that they will replenish stock in time. So
yeah,
I think in time, like in the summertime or towards the holidays, right? They'll have plenty of stock of this.
I think they just underestimated how popular Metroid is, especially in North America.
Or they did this to drum up interest in buying it, right?
Oh, well, there's that too, right?
Put out digitally right now. We're going to put out a limited stock, but we omitted the word limited. We're going to put out physical stock, all right? And then when it sells out and people want it, people got to get it. It's going to be a big thing, right? And then the scalpers are going to get involved, right? And then, and then they're going to keep putting out like, oh, we have a drop now. It's going to get sold out until until the holidays when they're going to just release it and everybody's going to go buy it so they can have one.
Yeah. The other thing I've been playing is StarCraft 2, bringing it back from the dead. Now, this game came out 2011, maybe 2012. It is the RTS classic. Still, to this day, they are supporting it. Blizzard is doing a very good job. A lot of new stuff that's in the game now that wasn't there when I first started playing. There's co-op missions. Right, which are awesome. That's like a whole new thing. They've revamped the whole custom game, arcade mode, whatever else. There's all these great new tools and great new game modes in there. I am just playing the vanilla 1v1, going up in the rank. I'm playing with my Terrans, and I'm back in it, man. I'm back in it. I got my old strategies, right? I got my build and all that. I'm pretty good. Making my way to gold. I'm not bad, but I'm also not great. I'm kind of right there in the middle. And man, does it still hold up? I mean, like, just everything about the game. The polish is amazing. Sound design's great. Controls are great. Accessibility options. I mean, everything. All the hotkeys and the whatever else. The gameplay is super tight. Love it. All right. Yeah, we need more quality RTS games. I know that's a dying genre, but
Dave, it's never going to come back the way it was. It's not. No,
I mean, PC. I mean,
I'm good.
Well, RTS, I mean, you never liked them, and they almost never come out on console. There's very few. I mean, there was StarCraft 64 or the Command and Conquer series, but
you know what?
I Halo Wars.
I say that now, and then the Uncharted RTS comes out, and RTS is a great. Why? Where have they been my whole life? I love RTS. This is amazing.
I could see an Uncharted RTS. That'd be awesome. Well, anyway, that's what I've been playing. Dan, what have you been playing?
So I've been playing Like a Dragon Inshin, PS5.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. I'm still trying to get past the subtitles, and they have a thing in the game that I don't like.
Okay.
I don't like the chase. Like, there's a sequence where you're chased by like these guards. You can't fight them. You have to run, and they have like hiding places for them. And
okay.
Like for yourself, then you hide, and they're all around, and you have to like find a way to get to where you got to go without getting caught.
It's a little sneak mission. Okay.
Yeah. I think it's kind of corny, right? I don't. Because you have to go to the hiding place and get the button prompt, right? So when you have to go sort of close to it, and then when the prompt comes to hit triangle, hit 0, whatever, hit X, or cross, right, to get in.
Mm-hmm.
If they're chasing you and they see, like, you got to really like run around, but then if you run and you run into two of them,
right,
there's like nowhere to go.
Right. You kind of get the pincer. Yeah. Okay.
It's like I really hate this part. They could have did without this. This could have been like a mini game or something. Like, if you try to steal something, and if you try to
you gotta be you gotta be slow and methodical, Dan. You gotta wait for the opportunity. You gotta figure out where the sight lines are, where they can see, their cone of vision, and you gotta wait. When they end up passing you by, then you just scope out the next location and you make a dash for it.
So they were chasing me, right? And it took me like maybe like 6 or 7 tries to get it right when I first came out. They were chasing me, and I got to where I had to go, but it wouldn't prompt because they were chasing me. So I had to hide. So I kept running around where I had to go to find a hiding spot, so I can hide. They can go away, calm down, and I could just walk around instead of running somewhere on the other side of the map. It drove me nuts. It drove me nuts, and I hate this.
But you got past it.
I hate stuff like that. Yeah, but they're gonna keep having it, and at some point I'm gonna rage quit and I'm not doing this anymore.
You got to see it till the end.
The story seems really good.
Mm-hmm.
I just wish they had, English translations. I at some point when they're sitting here having like a serious conversation, it takes so long. It's like, I don't want to read oh my God, I don't want to read everything. This is why I don't like, this is one of the reasons why I was never like into RPGs. Like early.
There's a lot of reading. Right. Before they did all the voice acting.
Oh my God.
I feel you. If I don't want to say this isn't a AAA game, but if they had a bigger budget, they would have totally done an English translation. Yeah.
Well, this actually is a port. So this is a port. This game originally only came out in Japan.
Right.
So this isn't technically a new game.
Yeah.
This is just a port of the Japanese game.
Yeah.
I feel like the story's good because he's like angry and he's like fiery and he's like talking like, I'm gonna kill this guy, I need revenge, and I just can't get into it because it doesn't have the same effect for me.
Right.
Where I'm spending like 10-15 minutes just in dialogue and I'm reading. And it's like, I gotta read. And and then you gotta search for something, and then I get to another dialogue and gotta read. And I want to talk to everybody, but I don't want to have to go through long dialogue parts where I gotta read everything.
Yeah. And then you gotta hit A to continue. Yeah, no, it's a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's kind of taking me out of the game. I don't know if I'm gonna finish it because I'm into the story, but then I'm not into the story.
I have a solution, Dad. You could just learn Japanese.
Oh yeah, listen. That's what
it ain't that hard. It ain't that hard.
I'm going to take some classes, and in 5 years from now, I'll revisit the game. At that point, they will have English dubs.
Yeah. I'll help you out. I'll help you out.
You know what I was thinking about? And I know hopefully nobody's listening to this screaming at their screen or their phone saying they do have this. Because I don't think they do. But this would be awesome if like there was an accessibility option in all consoles, where it automatically translated for you. All right. I know,
yeah.
Where it's just a generic voice that's doing a talk for you, but that could help, right?
Well, you know what? Consoles don't necessarily have that, but the Google Pixel Buds do live on the fly translation.
Okay.
You could, it would be whatever the Google Pixel Bud voice is, whatever semi-robotic male or female voice is. You could have it do it for you. I'd be curious to see how that goes down, but if you would be hearing both, right? Because they would have to pick up the Japanese and then translate it into English. But you could get someone to voice read it out for you. It's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Well, it should be automatically in the like a part of the software.
In the system. That's not out of the realm of possibility for a next gen console. And I'm already
look, that's a free one. I'm already creating the next gen, right? Better graphics, voiceovers, right? Boom, that's it.
Well, the AI is there, and it'd be another bonus for multiplayer games if you're playing people across the pond or whatever, or into the country. If they don't speak English, like you could have them translate in the damn headphones.
I'm good with that. I've played Street Fighter with some people overseas, right? And I'll be honest, I don't want to know what they were saying to me as they were kicking my ass. They're really good. Mm-hmm. So, and I think I told the story when we first started the show. Maybe when we first started the show, like I was playing Street Fighter, and I was playing in an online tournament. I beat this one guy, and I was like, "Yeah, I got this. I got this." Yeah, that was it. That was like my only win. I'm like,
it's tough. It's tough.
Like 1 in 30. Like 1 in 30. Mm-hmm. So, also, I've been playing Super Mario Brothers 3, the bonus levels, from the card reader.
Nice.
I beat them all. Mm-hmm. I beat them all. I beat all 40. It's like 40 different levels. Okay. I beat all 40.
Yeah. That's awesome. So are they like? Is it good? You beat them all, so I'm assuming they were fun to play, but.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's just extra levels, right? It's just like random extra levels of certain worlds throughout, the game. So and it's 40 levels, and they have I think the last 5. Yeah, the last 5 levels were like boss levels.
Okay,
right? It was like boss rushes. So I thought it was good. It's a shame that this was all hidden behind the card.
Oh, the e-reader thing, yeah.
The e-reader, yeah. Which I do have, and I do have a pack of cards I didn't open. I still haven't opened them.
Yeah, don't do it, Dan. Don't do it. Keep them sealed.
Well,
keep the value high.
No, when we talked about this, I now will keep them sealed because I can play them. Well, I bought this on the Wii U, so I own it on the Wii U, the levels, right? And now it's on Nintendo Online, Switch Online, so. I have the levels. I beat them, so I have no reason to open the e cards.
Exactly.
But I know you were telling me not to open it, and I was like, Dave, this is the only way to play it. I gotta swipe the card. Swipe the card.
You're good now.
So no, they're great levels, and I would say this should be what you should play this weekend. Like I know you love Super Mario Brothers 3.
I do.
You should check out these 40 levels because you would be in love. And I gotta say, the thing that made these E levels even greater, even better, they made them great. They put the cape from Super Mario World.
Oh,
one of the levels.
Wow!
To make it great, they had to use something from Super Mario World, the best Mario game of all time, and put it in. They had to put it in.
Just be happy.
3. There's
more content. There's new levels. You don't need to gloat. I'm
just saying. I was playing the level with the cape, which was awesome.
There was only one level with the cape, though, right? That was it.
I beat it a while ago, to be honest. I beat it I literally beat this in a day, less than a day. So I beat it in like maybe 2 hours, even now that I think about it. It was fairly quick. I had 1, 2, 3. So I think it was a couple of levels that had the cape in it.
Okay. Cool.
So I just want to put that out there. I had to put something from the best game in here to make it great. Mm-hmm. So that's why it's great. On that note, let's take a break. When we come back, we're getting to the top gaming news of last week.
Mm-hmm.
And we're back. All right, Dave, let's talk about the top gaming news of last week. Let's start with the trial of the century now.
I mean,
not only Microsoft's journey to buy Activision Blizzard. Right?
It is a journey. that is the operative word.
We haven't covered it week to week because like we could just do a whole show about this.
Right? We could have a podcast around it. Christ.
I try not to make the shows like I try not to build it around this.
It's important though. It's an important thing.
It is important. We did have a slow week, by the way. We had a slow week, so it's like we might. All right. Well, now I'm sort of forced to talk about this. So, 2 weeks ago, we said, "Oh, it's doom and gloom. I don't know if this deal is going to go through." Mm-hmm. Now it looks like it's the tides have turned. Right? It looks like the UK or the EU or leaning towards making the deal go through. Right?
Wow.
In large part because of what we talked about last week, the 10-year agreement with Nintendo, and it's just not Nintendo. They actually the agreement really is. They have another agreement with like other companies where they could put it out. Like if Sega makes a console tomorrow, right? Like like the EU wants to know like, hey, you're not going to discriminate to kill that. They kill that system, right? Like if you're putting Call of Duty on a Nintendo Switch, you got to put it on a Dreamcast 2 or whatever the next console.
Right. If there's a new probably like low probability, but I think that's a good case to handle, right? And like you could say like Switch, what about a Switch 2, right? And it's like, well, we only said the Switch, right? Yeah, everything's got to be very the language has to be precise.
It's a Nintendo console.
Right? Oh, okay. So that would be encompassing. Yeah,
correct. Yeah, and then like PC, they wanted to make sure like PC players as well, right?
Right.
Were in this. So,
right.
So I get that point. Mm-hmm. Sony obviously wants to stop the deal from happening. Large part, I think Call of Duty is a big part of it, but I think a large part is other games, right, that they could create down the line, right? Like Sony, I think they do all these marketing deals because they want to be the best place to play third parties, right?
Sure.
That's sort of one of their strategies, right?
Sure.
They have great like first party games, but they're getting tougher and tougher to make, longer and longer to make, I should say. Right? Well, games sure. You don't just put the sequel at the following year. It takes it went from a year to make the sequel, right, to make a game, to like 3 to 5, 6 years, right? Like some generations.
Right.
Remember growing up, we talk about like we want to see Mario the movie because we were kids when it first came out. We would get 3 iterations of a series in one console generation, right?
Yep.
Now we get one. Now we get one.
One if we're lucky. Yeah. For sure.
Like
for sure.
it may skip a generation, right? Mm-hmm. So,
and it's also fair to note with Call of Duty that PlayStation is the most populated platform for Call of Duty. So thanks in part to the marketing and all that, like that kind of like goes a long way, and they've done a really good job of supporting Call of Duty and the Call of Duty community, right, and making sure that the online infrastructure is good. Oh. And it is, you can hop on, put on a headset, and blast away in that game.
So I love it. I love the fight between the two behemoths, right? Mm-hmm. Because whatever point they're trying to prove, like every time they try to prove a point, it's we're better than them. But Microsoft now is like, no, we're not better than them. Sony's better than us. Sony's better than them. Like, so they want it. So why I said this is not the biggest deal in the world, because I always said I thought this deal was going to go through. It may take a little bit longer, but I think this deal is going to go through. And I think I personally think Sony's fighting this. So when they make their big acquisition, it's going to say, well, look, you made yours. You can't fight us. We try to oppose that, but you won. You got it. You got the big acquisition. So we're making this big acquisition.
Well,
you can't oppose to us doing
I think
that's what I think.
Sure. Well, I don't think any acquisition, not to throw shade at Sony, I don't think any acquisition Sony is going to make a bigger splash than Activision Blizzard, right?
I know.
That's not to say it wouldn't be important if they pick up Ubisoft or Square-Enix or somebody else.
Well, that would be my point, right? Like, you made this huge acquisition,
right?
No matter what acquisition they do, unless it's a privately owned company,
right?
A Mac, right? Like, you need to get approval from all the commissions all around the world.
Well, right? Sure,
because they're publicly traded companies.
But Sony's still fighting it tooth and nail. Like, they don't want it to go through, right? And
they don't want it to go through. But I think if it does go through, which I know they sort of know, like, this fight is futile, right? Like, they know, like, they're gonna. I think they know they're gonna lose, but I think they're gearing up to make a big purchase themselves. And it's like, well, you can't fight us because you let this huge deal go through.
Well,
right? So don't be mad when we make a deal ourselves.
I don't disagree that they're not making moves behind the scenes to pick up some companies. There are definitely some companies they could easily pick up because they're in, whatever financial state that they're in, and they'd probably be looking to
Ubisoft.
Oh yeah, exactly. I mean, for one, Square-Enix is another one that possibly could go to Sony and all that, and whatever. Say what you want about all that. It is what it is. It's business, but Call of Duty's the linchpin, right? They don't want that to go. And from what I've heard, Microsoft was kind of, I mean, they didn't officially put it in writing or whatever, but they're like, look, we'll give you 10 years of Call of Duty. Right, we'll give you a guaranteed 10 years, and then we'll kind of see what's going on there, right? If Sony pushes super hard, there's a possibility that Microsoft pulls out Call of Duty from the PlayStation platform.
No,
that's the last thing that they want. They could do that though.
No, they can't. They can't. All of those approvals are contingent on it being on all platforms. They couldn't say it's on the Switch, but not on PS5.
Is that true? Because they made the Nintendo thing, but they've never officially said we're gonna commit Call of Duty to PlayStation.
Yes, they did. They officially. Phil Spencer said we gave them Nintendo. Well, Sony's saying they were never offered the contract. We're doing catch up here because I didn't want to cover all the news that happened.
Sure.
But Sony said they never officially were given a 10-year contract, but Microsoft is saying we have a 10-year contract, but you won't come to the table to sign it.
Well, that's what I mean, though. That's what I mean. If Sony's going, because
but the approval from all the commissions is contingent in it being on everything. So I think they would have to let them sign. And Sony would sign it. If
they would have to force Sony to sign it to make the deal.
Sony would be forced to sign it if they say, "Look, there's no hurdles. It's happening." So I think they would be forced to sign it.
Right. Yeah. It's just a weird situation.
The documents. So it's funny in this particular situation. They're trying to prove, hey, Sony, they make exclusivity deals. They have more exclusivity deals than we do. And they want secret documents. They originally wanted documents from I think 20 years or 15 years, the last 20, 15 years, and the judge said no, that's that doesn't make any sense. That's unfair. That's egregious. So it's only from 2019. So from 2019 that should be enough time to prove your point. So they have to reveal all the sort of the documents reflecting the exclusivity deals that they've had with third party companies since 2019.
Oh, because they're going so hard in the paint that it's bad for business for Microsoft to do that. Now Sony has to open the door and all that stuff. Well, that's
which I don't
that's
think,
interesting.
Which I don't think
that's interesting.
Which which I don't think is the biggest deal in the world, because we know a lot of deals, we know a lot of games that had the exclusivity since 2019, right? The only thing that really affects this is from 2019 and now, it would affect the exclusivity deals for games that haven't come out yet, that they've made within the last 3 years, right?
Right. That could affect some things, and obviously it's not going to look great having this stuff come out. We know what's going on, right? We know that it happens. It happened with Tomb Raider. It happened with obviously Call of Duty, and tons of franchises. Somebody always gets the marketing for it, right? If it's a big enough game, somebody will pay for the marketing, whether it's Microsoft or Sony. So,
Yeah. So, I think this is inevitable to happen, right? It's inevitable. It's going to happen. If it doesn't happen, it would be it would be like a colossal disaster. Not from Microsoft, but for Activision Blizzard, right? Because everyone that works there, for all the contention, all the issues that they've had over the years, like everyone wants this to happen so they can have a better environment, new bosses, and hopefully change can happen to the company. It's
sad that that's the state of affairs, that it's going to take basically a giant, I don't want to say mutiny, but I don't know what a better word is. Like it's going to take a complete overhaul, a complete buyout for them to change the culture like that. It shouldn't be that difficult. Just fire everybody, get a whole new team in there. Microsoft can and will do that. They will kick out all of the toxic whatever and get a whole new staff in there so that the devs will have a good time. But
all right, so I'm just saying, for me, if you want to sweeten the pot, not a 10-year deal, 10 game. It should be a 10-game deal, to be honest, because you put 10 years and you don't put out a game.
Oh well, they're not gonna not do a yearly release. I mean, I think it's a given.
No, Phil Spencer said they don't want to do. He doesn't want to do an annual game release. If they get Call of Duty, they get Activision. They don't want to do an annually release. They want to, maybe
really
hop for a year or two. Yeah. He said that. We talked about it on the show.
Oh wow,
he said that.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Better for the franchise as a whole.
Yes.
Worse for game sales overall, because people will buy them year over year. I mean,
and you will build anticipation for it. Right?
100%. We'll get better games. We'll get games that'll possibly be nominated for Game of the Year, right? Because they usually don't, because it's a very similar game year over year, even though there's 7 different franchises in the Call of Duty universe.
But if you want to sweeten the pot, tell Sony you'll allow them to buy Crash and Spyro so they can have it in their portfolio for nostalgia purposes. Come on.
We'll break them off a piece.
We'll break you off a piece. We'll break you off a piece. We'll break you off a piece.
Right.
I mean, come on. But Microsoft, you have all these Activision Blizzard. You have all the Atari. You have half of Atari.
Oh yeah, no, Pong, hot property right now, Dan.
Yeah, there you go. You can let Crash go. Come on. Well, switching gears, the reason why Microsoft / Xbox wants to buy all of these, these companies, because they don't have any exclusives. They don't have anything that's exclusive to the platform. And you know what? They're not going to have many exclusives for a long time, major exclusives at least. This comes from a new report where a Microsoft executive says they're miles away from releasing a lot of the major games that we want, like the new Perfect Dark game, Fable.
Right.
Who knows? I mean, these games that they announced that they're in the works. I mean, we don't even know when Senua's the second Senua game is coming out. Right. They may not even make it for the Series X. They may be on the next generation.
Oh, let's not go crazy. Let's not go crazy. The console came out in 2020. It's still got at least 3 more years.
Yeah, and those games are probably 4 years away, because we talked about how tough it is to make a game, how long the development cycle is, especially if you announce a game when you're not even in development and you're in a concept stage, hey, like Fable, we just got a label, right? We just got the label Fable, right? Just like Metroid Prime 4.
Yep. We got a JPEG.
And then it's in development hell, and you got to start over, right? So you got to add. You're already in development for maybe 2 years, and then now you got to add another 4 or 5 years to that, because now you got to start over. You got to get a new studio. What's the concept? What assets do we want to use?
Sure.
It could take a long time. So you're further away than we originally thought.
Yeah. I mean, the only things that we got the exclusivity for Starfield, which was already in production. So they just basically moved it away from Sony for better or worse. And we have Redfall, We got that weird, I forget what it is, but that weird MOBA shooter game with all the different character classes and all that like Bleeding Edge didn't really make much of a splash.
Yeah, Bleeding Edge didn't do anything.
We just got...
You can buy that game. You can buy that game. I don't know if you still can. You can buy that game at GameStop for 99 cents.
Yeah, well, there you go. There you go. Hey, pick it up. I don't think it's that bad. But well, we also got that stealth drop of Hi-Fi Rush, which is cool.
That's true.
That came out. But there should be more with the 20 some odd studios, if not more, that they have underneath their belt that they made acquisitions over the last 3 years. We haven't gotten a lot out of it. It's not to say that Microsoft is in a bad way, but in terms of game sales, in terms of console sales, they are the lowest in the totem pole. Better than the Xbox One, definitely not as good as PlayStation 5 or the Switch in terms of overall sales.
They're third. They're definitely third.
Yeah,
right?
It may almost even be 2-1 sales. Probably. It's probably not as bad, but it's around that number, which is really weird. So,
which is why they're not focused on hard. They're focused mostly on like getting everybody on Games Pass.
That's right.
They're focused on subscription base.
Mm-hmm.
So, man, I know we're gonna get Gear 6, right? Like that's coming out.
Yep.
Right? Like come on, like that has to be something.
That's gonna be good.
That's why I think Starfield is going to be this year, later in the year, like the fall, and then maybe Gear 6.
Well, you're only 70% confident it's going to come out this year.
I am only 70. And the longer we don't get this rumored developers direct just for Starfield, the more time that goes past, and we're already in March. We thought we were going to have it by now. Right?
It's definitely going to be a fall. It's definitely going to be a fall release, so we'll probably get something over the summer, I bet.
That percentage keeps going down. So right now I'm at 70. If we get right in May before E3 and we still don't have it, then it's going to go down to 60. I'm sorry.
The prime time for a game like this is between September and the end of November. So I ain't worried.
Yeah. Well, I'm worried. I'm a little worried.
Okay.
So, all right, let's switch gears and talk about the Switch. Right. We always talked about earlier on. You talked about you're still on the light switch, the Switch Lite.
Yes.
Right. You won't let that go. You won't let that go. You know what I won't let go? I won't let go of the Super Switch. Oh. That's what I want. I want the Super Switch. I love it. I love the days when Nintendo just put like one word in front of something and that was the next.
64 Super.
Yeah. When they put it. Yeah, I mean they tried it with the U and the Wii U and it didn't work, but I think the Super Switch would work in this case, and it may be coming sooner than we thought. This comes from a leak, actually, a staffer leak from February 26th that was from an outsourcing team for the Pokemon game, the two Pokemon games, Scarlet and Violet, where they're working on DLC for the next Switch console that will be coming out this year. So now everybody thinks we're gonna get it. We're gonna get the new Switch console come out this year. We get this every year. We've been doing this. This is like the new Switch.
Okay.
3 years.
Now wait a minute. Do you think it's gonna be the Super Enhanced Pro model, like the beefed up version of the OG one, or this is gonna be a new console generation for Nintendo?
Well, let me ask you a question. Would a beefed up model be considered a new generation?
No, not at all. Not at all. Because it's the same exact thing, just with better hardware. Right? It has more RAM. It has a better processor. Never in a million years.
What if they keep doing that though? What if they put out like a model, like a super souped up model right now, right? Like let's say next year. Let's say 2024, right? They put out a souped up model, the Super Switch. Call it the Super Switch. And it's really powerful. It's super powerful, right? And for another 4 years, they put out another model. They run in even beefier.
Nope. They run into the problem that Microsoft is running into, or was running into, when they were doing that cross-platform stuff. They had to support a console, the beta console, like you like to call it, from 2013. So you had to get Halo to work on there. You had to get a bunch of these like games that launched to work on there, and it was a terrible experience.
No. It's not compatible. Like
then it's a brand new console. Then it's a brand new console.
That's what I'm saying. They keep calling it Switch, and it's just they keep the Switch concept and they keep beefing it up as technology gets better.
Oh, well, that's going to get confusing then too, because if you still call it the Switch, it's the problem you have with the Wii and the Wii U. The Wii U wasn't. I mean, it was a marketing thing, but it was also the naming was terrible.
But what if you call it whatever, right? You call this one the Super Switch, and then the next one you call the Switch 2 or the Switch 3 or the Switch 4 or whatever.
It has to at least have a 2 at the end of it, but I think Nintendo's not going to do that. Nintendo's going to come up with a different name. I think it's going to be iterative based on what the Switch is, because the Switch is doing so well, which was iterative. It was iterative over what the Wii U was, right? It was the vision that they wanted with the Wii U.
It's going to be hologram. They're going to have a hologram.
I mean, maybe, but no, definitely they are not doing a Switch Pro because it's 6 years. It's a generation at this point. We're ready for another Nintendo console. Now
they said they're going to support the Switch for 10 years. So I think they're going to get the Super Switch.
I mean, maybe. I don't even think they need to. People are still buying Mario Kart, a game that came out on the Wii U 10 years ago, right? 2012 or whatever it was. They're still buying Mario Kart.
Do you think this is good? Do you think the Wii U would have sold better if they would have called it Wii 2?
Wii 2 would have been a little bit better, but still a little confusing.
Access tomorrow's medical breakthroughs today.
Yeah, it would have been. Yeah, it would have been better if it was a completely different name. It would be less confusing.
No, but I can see where they're going, right? Like PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, right? Why can't it be the Wii? Well, right now, the Switch. Why couldn't the Switch be the Wii 3?
Well, Sony's got the benefit of 94, almost 30 years of branding and marketing and whatever. So you know that when there's a number next to it, it's one better, it's a new generation, it's a whatever, right? We know Sony's next console is the PlayStation 6. Everybody knows. My mom knows that the PS5 is not the PS4. My mom knows the PS4 isn't the PS3, right? Like, it's...
Come on, I love the memes. I love the memes when people couldn't get a PS5. Mm-hmm. And the girlfriend, she duct taped the PS2 and the PS3 together.
Oh, yeah. It creates a PS5, PS2 plus a PS3 is a PS5, right? That's how that works, right? You get the power of both consoles, right? It's good. So, I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to speculate... Okay. I've given up the ghost on a Pro model, but I'm not going to speculate when the next new generation for Nintendo of consoles is coming. Whatever. If it's called Switch 2, it's called something completely different. I just don't know at this point because
I personally think I don't know where you could go, right? Like I don't know where you could go with it as far as what other crazy thing? We had the movement. Now we have, we're carrying it with us. Right?
I don't think they're gonna go crazy. I think they're gonna do it like the GameCube, where it was kind of iterative. They took the weird, wacky N64 controller, turned it into a more standard controller. I say more standard, but it was still a little bit weird. And they just have better horsepower in it. And it's like, okay, like what was the big innovation of the GameCube era? The handle. The handle on the back was the innovation that year. But I mean, like...
We're going to get the Switch 2.
Yeah.
We're going to get the Switch 2. It should be called the Super Switch.
No.
I don't think they want to...
That's confusing.
I don't think they want to get rid of the Switch name just yet, and I think they want to do another handheld, just more powerful, right? Like they're doing different things. I know they, being creative. I mean, Miyamoto, did an interview saying how Nintendo, he's not going to be alive forever. He's like,
no,
right? How Nintendo is going to work without him? And he said, he thinks they're going to do really well because right now there are a lot of people that have interesting ideas, and the older he gets, the less and less he's like involved. He's just more on the consulting side, right? He's not actually he hasn't made a game since like the N64 era.
It's been a while. Yeah,
right? yeah. I think Majora's Mask was the last game he ever directed, to be honest.
He didn't direct Majora's Mask. That was Eiji Aonuma. Ocarina of Time was the last Zelda game. Yeah. That was the passing of the torch.
Yeah.
But I mean, that man's a genius. He can do whatever he wants.
Even though Pikmin was his idea, I don't think he directed that game.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about another Square. Talk about studios being bought. I still think Square-Enix is going to get bought by Sony, which makes sense. I think that would be a good purchase, and I don't think Ubisoft. I think Tencent will take over Ubisoft before anybody else purchases them.
That's a possibility. I mean, they had a little bit of influx of money from outside investors, so they're staying afloat for a little bit. But I think you're right.
Probably
someone's going to buy them.
Probably even Embracer Group. Probably.
I mean,
50 cents on a dollar if the stock keeps going down.
Yeah.
But the Forspoken Dev Luminous Productions, right? A month after Forspoken's came out to not so glowing reviews, they're going to be no more. They're going to fold. Well, technically they're not. No one's getting fired, at least from all the reports I see. They're just going to get folded up into some of Square Enix's other studios.
Right. Yeah, they're gonna be support and whatever, get integrated into whatever teams, maybe work on Final Fantasy 16, leading up to the launch or some of their other stuff. Sad, because Forspoken was a cool concept. Execution, not great. Apparently there's still like some big bugs in there they haven't fixed yet. But now that they're, dissolving the studio, this is it. There are no more Forspoken games in the Forspoken franchise. So,
they could potentially make a Forspoken 2 eventually.
They wouldn't dissolve the studio if they were going to make a sequel like that. I mean, maybe down the line, but I think this is the beginning of the end.
They own the IP. It's just
for sure, but it didn't have a great start. And now that they're dismantling the studio, that was it's not a good look. It's not a good look for the franchise. I don't know. I mean, are you sad that we're not going to get a Forspoken sequel?
Well, I don't know where. Well, I mean, they were supposed to be DLC for Forspoken, which we don't know where they stand on that. I would like to see a sequel to Forspoken, just fix everything that's wrong. Like if you listen to every review about Forspoken, and even me, it's like it's a good concept. They just didn't put everything. Like everything works, right? Like the visuals,
sure,
the ideas, the story, like things work. They just don't come together.
Yeah,
they don't come together. They just come together.
Yeah,
it's like look at all the ingredients, right? Mm-hmm. Like I like pepperoni. You like pepperoni, right? I like mozzarella cheese. You like mozzarella cheese, right? But I also, but then
the pizza, the pizza at the end of the day is not great.
You put down. I like vanilla ice cream too, right? I like vanilla ice cream. Do you like vanilla ice cream? I like vanilla ice cream. Do you like churros? I like churros. But do you put churros, vanilla ice cream, pepperoni, and mozzarella cheese together? It would make a bad combination. It's terrible.
Yeah.
That would be terrible.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I gave that demo the old college try, and it's definitely a no from me, Doug.
Okay. But I mean, I think Luminous Productions. I could be wrong about it. I think they were originally sort of just put together to make a new engine, right? Mm-hmm. Because they didn't want to pay the fees for Unreal Engine.
Yep.
Right? The Unreal Engine demo, and they wanted to put together a new engine that they used on Final Fantasy 15, which people weren't too crazy about.
Yeah.
So, just looking at sort of where they came just to start the studio, and now where they are now, it's okay, all right, not the biggest failure, right? Which is why I don't think they're not being fired; they're being folded in. But I think that was a good idea. They had good ideas, just execution-wise on all their projects weren't so great.
Right.
All right, I wanted to end. Well, I was originally going to end with talking about LeBron James and his ugly new design for PS5 covers and DualSense controller.
Oh.
And how ugly it was, but I chose not to do that. I chose not to do that because he designed it. From all the reports, he designed it, and it's just a black PS5 with a black DualSense controller with writing of sayings that he said on it, which I thought were kind of corny. I mean, if that's the case, just make it for yourself, because I wouldn't want to buy that personally. Okay. But I do want to end on a sad note for me, because you know how much I love TT games. That isn't the real TT games.
Telltale. Telltale.
Call it.
Oh my god.
Try to say that 10 times fast, but I'm going to say TT games.
Mm-hmm.
They're back. I'm ready for the Wolf Among Us 2. I was looking forward to it this year, because they said it was coming out this year, which is why, taking it full circle, back to your opening monologue when you said this is going to be the greatest, or one of the great years of gaming, and I said no.
Still is.
This is why, because The Wolf Among Us 2 has been delayed out of 2023, possibly into 2024, because they want to delay crunch. They don't want to do crunch for the developers.
That is the words that I want to hear. We are looking after our devs. We don't want to burn them out.
Yeah, well,
that's
you know
amazing.
What?
It's amazing.
You know what?
Love it.
After this announcement, it's officially not going to be the greatest. Not going to be one of the great years for gaming.
Oh my god!
Sorry, Dave.
Oh my god.
I'm taking it back to your opening monologue. Wolf Among Us 2, not this year. So you know what? Next year will be 2024. Going to be the greatest year.
Wow, you're really devaluing Tears of the Kingdom and Starfield. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
you're devaluing Metroid Prime. You're devaluing. We haven't played Atomic Heart yet, but it's very good.
I haven't played Atomic Heart. No, I want to though.
We have both played Forspoken, and well, that's certainly now moving the needle.
That's how my year started.
Right.
That's how my year started. But you know what? Kirby's Dreamland Deluxe, awesome game.
See, there you go. There you go. Some highlights so far. We're only like 2.5 months in, or 3 months in, I guess, at this point.
Super Hi-Fi Rush. That's awesome.
Right. That's right.
All right, Dave. That's it for the news. You got any good weekend plans?
Well, I mean, one, I'm going to check out that damn Mario game you just hit me to. I got to see the unreleased Mario 2 or Super Mario World 2 or whatever it is.
No. It was Super Mario Brothers. What was it called? It was Super Mario Brothers 2, Super Mario. It was Super Mario Advance 2, Super Mario Brothers 3.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, because they couldn't just keep it simple. Yeah. The first Advance game, I think, was Mario 2, right? It was Super Mario Brothers Advance, but it was like Mario 2 or Mario 3 or whatever. Oh, I don't know. And like Mario 4 was 3 and 2 was what? Put them in order. One to World.
No.
1, 2, 3, and 4. Go ahead, lay it down.
So the original
infuriating
the original Super Mario Advance game was Super Mario Advance Super Mario Brothers 2. Okay.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah.
It was 2. So 2 was the first one.
Right.
Super Mario World was Super Mario World Super Mario Advance 2.
Oh god. Okay.
Super Mario Advance 3 was Yoshi's Island. And then Super Mario Advance 4 was Super Mario Brothers 3.
Oh my god. Just the naming it's the worst.
And then remember, each game had the original Mario Brothers in it.
Oh, of course, right. So that was never a release, which I get because they also had the classic, the Game Boy Advance Classics or Classic Series or whatever. So you could buy Mario Brothers for $20, which was a great game, amazing, but it was a little expensive for a GBA release, which was just the game.
No, not the first Mario game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about the Atari Mario game, the arcade one, where they're just coming in and you have to jump.
Oh, Mario Brothers, just Mario.
Yeah, Mario Brothers, just Mario Brothers. Yeah, just Mario Brothers was on all of was playable on all the games.
All right. Well, I think the one thing we can agree on with all of this is that those games are very expensive. If you want to get in-box copies of those with the other carts, you're going to pay a little bit of money for them. So, and sadly, I own none of them because I'm like, I already have all these games. I don't need to buy them again, and I should have bought them. But
I own all of them. But if you want to get them loose, they're about $40, so double the price loose on Luki.
Not terrible, yeah. And Luki's always got the good prices, so they're it's worth buying from there because they're fair market value for them. So, well, I'm gonna be doing that. I'm playing some Metroid Prime. Obviously, I may even beat it this week. I'm going hard in the paint on it. So, how about you? What do you?
So I pre-ordered my physical copy.
Oh yeah, it's still not here yet.
From EU, from the United Kingdom. So I still haven't gotten it yet. They haven't shipped it yet because it came out March 3rd in the EU. So I got that. So if I find it anywhere else, the American version, North American version, I'll buy it and then cancel my pre-order. Unless I know it's shipped, then I'm not going to buy it.
Right.
I'll just wait. I'll wait for the EU version.
Yeah, I mean it's out there. You got to go to a couple stores probably, but you can get it.
I'm not going to go. I mean, since I pre-ordered, I'm not going to go crazy for it.
Right.
I'm not going to go. I'm not going to act like it's the PlayStation 5 or anything. That's waiting in the queue or anything. No.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to see what I'm going to do for Saturday Morning Retro.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm going to. Game. Take a look. See. I don't know what your method is for picking your Saturday Morning Retro game, but I sort of picked the console. This is the console I want to work on, right? Like this console I want to play on, and then from there, then I pick the game. So I knew I wanted to do a game on an Xbox, right? Because I wanted to play the Xbox, and I was like, oh, okay. Then I go through different games, and then that's how I got Torque, the prehistoric game.
Sure. I think mostly my methodology has been, I've played this game before, but it's been a while. Let's see how this game holds up today. Got it. But then also I started branching out like we did Vanquish, I think, an episode or two ago. I've never played Vanquish, and I heard such good things about it. I'm like, I really want to play this game and see if it holds up without having any reference from back in the day, right? So I have zero nostalgia goggles on it. And I think that went really well because Vanquish was great. I think it did hold up very well. Had a good time playing that. So, I don't know. I'm going to have to take a look at the wall of games and see what's good. So... yeah. And on that note, that is episode 349 in the books, folks. And we want to thank you guys for listening to the show, for liking, commenting, and doing all the good stuff that you guys do. If you want to interact with us, and we know that you do, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Rated G for Gamers. So please listen, like, rate, review, and subscribe. And as always,
keep gaming.